Welcome back to the Distressed Princess. I'm Rhonda, and in today's video, I'm doing the Sweet Summer Dupes Hop along with my friends. If you're coming to this video from the hop, then welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Just stay tuned. We're going to show you how to make higher end items for a lot less money. When you're done with this video, you'll find a link to the next person in the hop at the top of my description box. My first dupe is inspired by this set of pineapple bookends that I found online, and I just loved how cute they were. But the set was $49.99, and it just so happens that at the Dollar Tree right now they have these tumblers, and it's an LED tumbler, so there's a light that is on the bottom that when you push the button it lights up. You can remove that or you can leave it intact, but I took mine off. So the first thing that you'll need to do is paint the pineapple cup with some white spray paint. For the top leafy part of the pineapple, the inspiration piece was gold. But I like rose gold better, so I used Krylon Color Master spray paint. Now I'll tell you that this can of paint said it would dry in 15 minutes or less, and it couldn't be further from the truth. I don't know if it was just the kind of plastic that this was made out of or what, but it's still tacky to this day. So I would recommend maybe trying Rust-Oleum spray paint. So of course the top of this is actually a cup where you would put a straw through. So you need to cover up that hole, and I used painter's tape. For the top side of that hole, I'm going to fill it with a wood bead that came from the Dollar Tree. Now the yellow ones and the green ones are the larger size ones, so pick one of those. And then I spray painted it with the rose gold paint. After I realized that that bead was just going to sit in a puddle of paint and get gloppy, I got smart and I took the end of a paintbrush and put it through the hole of the bead, and then it was a lot easier to spray paint and have it be even. And then I hot glued the bead down into the center of the hole in the top of the pineapple, and it covered it perfectly, and it really added a little something like a little button on top. When the pineapple was dry, then I needed to fill it with something because a bookend has to have some weight to it in order to hold the books up. So my first thought was sand from the Dollar Tree, but I didn't have a Dollar Tree around to go to at the time, so I just went to the store and bought some salt, which is cheaper. It was only 55 cents at the Dollar General store. And it works just the same way, so why not? So I filled my pineapple with salt, and it took the whole container, and it's very weighted down. And then I put the green leafy part back on the top of the pineapple. And as I was screwing this on, and this had even dried for over 24 hours, some of that rose gold paint did come off on my hands, and yeah, I just didn't like that Krylon paint on there because it just didn't stick to that plastic very well. And to turn the pineapple into an actual bookend, I used a bookend. And this came from the Dollar Tree. I know they have different colors of them, and they're pretty cute. I like the design on them. And so I spray painted it with the same white gloss paint that I did the pineapple with. And when it got dry, I used some Loctite all-purpose glue, which you could use whatever you like, E6000 or the Fix-All adhesive from the Dollar Tree. I just thought I would use this one for a change of pace, and I put some hot glue with it for the immediate hold. And then I put the pineapple down on top of the bookend, and voila, there you have it. a pineapple bookend. And the original set was $49.99, and I only paid $2.55 to make this one. So if you made two, it would be $5.10, and I think it's totally worth it. It's so summery cute. The host of today's hop is Megan, the Crafty Quinn, and she's a sweet friend of mine. She does awesome DIYs. She does a lot of Dollar Tree DIYs, budget-friendly stuff. I know you'll love her, so make sure that you hop over to her channel because you'll eventually hop over there and subscribe when you get there and tell her I sent you. My next dupe is this really cute hanging wall shelf that I knew that anyone should be able to make on their own, right? Because it's just a piece of wood and some rope. And this had a sales price of $32.99. I already had a piece of wood just laying around doing nothing, so I decided to make this shelf. And so I'm going to paint my shelf with Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint, but I'm not going to do a thick all over coat. I'm just going to swipe it around, sort of dry brushing, but heavier in other areas, and try to make it look antique. This piece of wood already had a hole in one of its corners, so I'm going to make the other 3 holes match up in line with that one. So in total, you'll need a hole in each corner, so we're going to drill 4 holes and try to make them as even as possible using a measuring tape or ruler or whatever you have. I used a pretty large drill bit to make the holes, and I don't know the sizes of the drill bits and all, but what I did was I just took a piece of my nautical rope, which I'll show you in a second, and I compared it to the drill bit to see how big I would need to make my hole. To make things easier on yourself, buy 2 packages of nautical rope. I only had 1 package and I wasn't going to the store, so I had to make do. So what I did was I unwound the one rope into 3. It has 3 pieces, and so that's what I had to work with. And so, but if I were you, just skip that altogether, buy 2 packages and cut 4 pieces of your rope 22 inches each. And say hi to Yachty, quickly running across my craft table. He finally figured out how to climb up there. And so here are my 4 pieces of rope that's 22 inches a piece, and I taped off the ends so to be easier to poke them through the drilled holes. And then on the bottom side, just tie a great big knot. And then do the same thing on all 4 corners. Now the rope needs something to attach to that's going to be a hanger, and this is a round wood piece that I got with a macrame kit that I ordered online, but you could find a piece like this at Hobby Lobby, very cheap, and I painted mine black. The next step is to hot glue your rope around the wood round piece. Now the 2 front pieces of rope, I'm going to put them through the ring forward. See how I'm putting it through from front to back, and then I'm going to hot glue it down. And again, on the other corner piece of rope, I put it through the ring from front to back, and I hot glue that down. And the 2 pieces of rope on the back 2 corners go the opposite way. They're going to come from the back and loop around to the front and hot glue those down in place. And then whatever edges or ends were showing on the front side, I tried to fringe those out, and where some of the tape was showing, I just took some extra little pieces of rope I had and made little fringy pieces to put on top. And that was it. And I don't think that it would hold anything super heavy, but oh, how cute with a set of washcloths for the bathroom. The original inspiration piece was $32.99 and it only cost me $1 to make this. And the last dupe today came from Overstock.com. It was this really cute, frosty, painted like hurricane glass, and $98. Please, we can do so much better than that. And I'm using a vase from the Dollar Tree and some wood look contact paper that also came from the Dollar Tree, and a piece of scrapbook paper. It's actually called volume paper, and it came from Michael's in their scrapbooking section. And I'm going to paint the designs onto that balloon paper using the moss colored chalk paint by Waverly. The first thing you need to do is cut out your piece of, I hope I'm saying this right, it's VELLUM paper to fit your hurricane vase. I used a ruler to draw a straight line where I made my cut mark, and then I have my piece to cut out for my vase. Now, for the painting, I have no idea about painting. I have no idea how to paint certain things. I was just winging it. I was just wanting to draw lines and just put little flower blooms, you know, so I was just winging it, and I really liked how it turned out. And so if I can do it, I know that you can do it, because I had no idea what I was doing. The inspiration piece had brown or like amber colored foliage or twigs and berries and stuff on it, but instead of brown, I chose the sagey green color just because it matches my home better. So pick whatever color that you would like. I think a really bright color like a purple or a bright blue would be really pretty too, or even pink like cherry blossoms. Or you could use different colors, like for the cherry blossom idea, make some brown twigs or stems or branches, and then little pink cherry blossoms. That would be very cute. And this is what my finished painting looked like, and I let it dry for a long time before I continued on. Now it needs to be adhered to the vase, and I'm going to use Mod Podge to do that with. And so I put Mod Podge all over the outside of the vase. And I stuck the balloon paper to the vase with the painted side touching the vase. Next, I measured out the length of the wood contact paper that I would need to go on the very bottom of the vase, because in the inspiration piece, it looked like it had a wooden bottom, and so we're going to fake that with wood contact paper. And the wood bottom in the inspiration piece didn't look very thick or wide, so I'm just cutting about 2 squares width for the contact paper. And then just peel off the backing and stick it down to the bottom of the vase. And that was it. The inspiration piece was $98 on Overstock.com, and I was able to make mine for about $2 because the vase was $1, the balloon paper was less than $1, and I already had the contact paper. Here's a look back at all my sweet summer dupes today. And don't forget, click the link in the top of my description box down below. It will take you to the next person's video in the hop. I'm so glad you joined me today, and enjoy the rest of the hop. Bye.